Hi, and welcome back to another video. And today we have a very big development within the New York City 2025 mayor race that I have been covering for you guys very closely. And this new development has been very interesting, and I was very excited to make a video on it. I actually wanted to do it last night, but I wanted this more to, develop within the next hours until I did. So now we have, reached a point where Eric Adams, um, before he was in trouble, but now he's really in trouble. As last night we had some more calls for his resignation after Eric Adams kind of aligned himself with Trump's Justice Department, where the Trump Justice Department uh, ordered the charges against Eric Adams to be dropped, and they have not been dropped yet, surprisingly, because the prosecutors have been so defiant. The attorney at the Southern District of New York actually has resigned in protest. So then this went to like two other prosecutors, which they also resigned. And you also have the one person in New York, surrounding New York politics itself, who could possibly be the only person, well, who is the only person that could remove Adams, not by vote, which is Governor Kathy Hochul of New York. She has the power to remove him, and yesterday she did an interview on MSNBC that was originally about another story that I don't think I'll be covering, but she was asked about Eric Adams and that if, she was in the process of removing him, and she's already been asked this question before, um, but she was so much more defiant and didn't want to do it because she wanted the legal process to play out. And the prosecutor side on, for the Eric Adams case, seems to be on the losing side now, right? Right? They are being pressured into dropping this case or dropping the charges. And even though the charges aren't dropped yet, it seems like at this moment, it's only a matter of time until they fold, because you have Trump, really aligning himself with Eric Adams, and he really does like that Eric Adams is like claiming that Biden's Justice Department was after him, and Trump also feels like he was a victim of political persecution, and so yeah, he kind of he aligns himself with Eric Adams, and he likes that. So, um, Donald Trump seems to be doing everything he can to save Eric Adams, and if it to be successful, I don't think, we still have a lot more time to see how this plays out. But as of right now, it looks like Eric Adams' career is probably dead. Now, there's a lot of time for Eric Adams to change this around. But as of right now, from what I'm seeing, this is reminding me of the final days right before former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo resigned. After the Attorney General, came out with this massive report against him of all this sexual assault, and obviously Andrew Cuomo denied it. But there were threats of impeachment if he didn't step down. And it really did look like both New York Democrats and Republicans were going to go against Cuomo and throw him out. So Cuomo had no choice to resign. And this is what it's feeling like now with Eric Adams of Mayor of New York City, where Eric Adams now has been able to piss off several Democrats, if not maybe the whole party within New York. Kind of, going to Mar-a-Lago, doing a meeting this morning on Fox News with Trump's border czar Homan, um, basically pissing off the party he's supposed to represent. And there was a report within the New York Times that Eric Adams could have switched to the Republican side, which kind of would have killed his chance of re-election. But it just shows how far away he's getting from the Democratic Party, and it's only because of his, the legal challenges to him. So as of right now, obviously Governor Kathy Hochul is the only one that can throw out New York City Mayor Eric Adams, and that she needs some time. Before, she was so much more resistant. She's like, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to let the legal stuff play out. But now that Trump is attempting to save Eric Adams, she's much more open to the idea, and it looks like she's, kind of pushing to the idea. But it's going to be a couple days and maybe a couple weeks until she really does make her final decision. But she's obviously, she's the governor of New York, and she's facing much more issues. She's actually right now beefing with the state government of Louisiana about this doctor who performed an abortion with abortion pills. It wasn't even an abortion. He just gave her abortion pills, and the state government of Louisiana claimed that that he can't do that, and that it's a felony. And they were going to extradite him, and Hochul disagreed, and she's not going to turn him over. So that is what Hochul is dealing with right now. So I think what everything she's doing right now, Eric Adams, obviously small fish, but for some other New York Democrats, probably a big fish, right? He's, aligning himself with Trump, and he's doing all this stuff, and they want him out, and he's very unpopular. He's a very controversial figure. But yeah. So now there's the question of if Hochul will remove New York City Mayor Eric Adams. Obviously, she said, she needs time. It says Governor Kathy Hochul on Thursday did not rule out using her authority to remove New York City Mayor Eric Adams from office following new allegations that his legal team sought to trade cooperation on the Trump administration's immigration policies for getting his federal corruption charges dropped. In an interview on MSNBC, Hochul, a Democrat, called the allegations extremely concerning and serious. And when the host Rachel Maddow asked her if she was considering using her legal power to boot Adams from the mayor's office, the governor said she would not make any knee-jerk politically motivated reaction, but Hochul left the door open to exercising her authority, saying she was consulting with other leaders in government at this time. This just happened, the governor said. I need some time to process this and figure out the right approach. Hochul's remarks came hours after Daniel Sassoon, the acting U.S. Attorney for Southern District of New York, resigned rather than move to dismiss the charges against Adams. President Donald Trump's administration ordered her to do so earlier the week, saying the prosecution came too close to the mayor election and was hampering the mayor's ability to assist with Trump immigration agenda. The Department of Justice directive said it was not assessing the strength of the evidence of the legal theories on which the case is based. So, yeah, you do have, the Trump administration kind of aligning with, or really backing Eric Adams here, saying that, if you help, the Trump administration and especially Homan with the immigration crisis in New York City, we'll obviously help you with your legal problems. So it's kind of like a, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours kind of thing. But yeah, this is not sitting right with several people within New York City and within the New York State. And with, members of, the Democratic Party, even across the entire country. So especially, aligning himself with Trump. And I think that it's only a matter of time until Governor Kathy Hochul removes Eric Adams. And there's also a good possibility, that she doesn't, and she just says, I think the people in the June primary, they should, make their decision at the ballot box. But if this becomes too much of a problem where they believe that Eric Adams is compromised and that he is allowing himself to get away with this stuff, and that they believe it's too big of a problem, and that they think that, they can't wait for this, that, Kathy Hochul could remove him. So I think that Hochul removing him and then him getting voted out in the ballot box in the Democratic primary, two good possibilities, but there's one that has a deadline, right? There's there's two of them that have a deadline, right? You have the June primary, which is June 24th or June 23rd, somewhere late June, and then you have Kathy Hochul understanding that there's only a limited amount of time where she could boot him because the primary is like 3 months away. Or 3 or 4 months away. So, yeah, both of these are amount of time to happen, and it'll be interesting to see, which one actually happens. And if Eric Adams is removed before the June primary, it'll be interesting to see, a fielded primary that there already is right now, right? You have all these candidates within. Oh, that's the Republican. Am I just blind? Oh no, it's I might be. Where's the? Oh my goodness, I am blind. So yeah, you have, besides Eric Adams, you have all these candidates on the Democratic side, right? And you even have some who've expressed interest, including Andrew Cuomo. We are still waiting to see if he, comes in. Either he's running for mayor or he's going to try and make an attempt at governor. But I still think the mayor one is likely. So if Hochul removes Eric Adams, right, you're going to have all these candidates in the Democratic primary, excluding Eric Adams here, that are going to be running, right? You have Michael Blake, Brand Lander, all these people, they are going to be, so excluding Eric Adams, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. Excluding Eric Adams, you have 7 people who are running for mayor of New York City that are Democrats. And then on the Republican side, you have about, let's see here. Wow, you don't even have the... Oh, it's like declared is about... Oh, I didn't know that. So, declared is so Curtis Silva is actually Curtis Silva's drop is in the race. I did not know that. So I did not know Curtis Silva was in the race. Last time I touched this, that he was down here with publicly expressed interest, I believe. So Curtis Silva is now declared. That's interesting. It's also interesting they have Eric Adams down here because Eric Adams floated the idea of him becoming a Republican and joining the Republican primary instead of the Democratic primary. Okay, so candidates here. These are just, Conservative Party declared. This guy just aligns himself with the Bronx Conservative Party since 2023. Announced November 28th, so a little bit ago. Independents, Jim Weldon, endorsements. Okay, so yeah, but that's interesting. So I didn't know Curtis Well is, back in the race. So it looks like that Curtis probably, could clinch the Republican nomination. Obviously, way too early as of right now to be really making those predictions. But, he was the nominee last time around. Let me just pull up the 2021 here. Yeah, he was the nominee last time around. He got 312,000 votes, 27% of the vote. Eric Adams obviously getting 753,000, 66% of the vote. Now that Eric Adams is very unpopular now and very disliked within the Democratic Party and within his own city, I think that, probably Eric Adams won't be around for much longer. And like I said, Hochul could be removing him within the next couple days or weeks. We don't know. She didn't exactly give us a time frame. All she said is that you're going to have to give her time. And, this all comes after, there's even more resignations for Andrew Cuomo now. Last night we saw I don't know if it's within this article, but I saw that AOC, a very popular Democratic House of Representative, she's very young, she's very energetic, and she's very expressive within herself. Which I'm guessing that AOC also has took her time, to really call for his resignation, but she did call for his resignation last night. And then right after AOC did that, the Lieutenant Governor of New York, which is right below Kathy Hochul. So now Kathy Hochul was kind of forced last night to bring that up, which is probably why Rachel Maddow did it. But yeah, that's interesting. So you have AOC, right? Somebody within the New York Democratic Party, or just the Democratic Party, but she's a New York Democrat. She's a representative, a very popular House representative, and she is calling for Eric Adams to resign as mayor. And then you have the Lieutenant Governor of New York, somebody who's very close to Kathy Hochul, somebody who ran with Kathy Hochul in 2022 and won, and someone who's very familiar with what Kathy Hochul does and what she thinks and what she's going to do, also called for Eric Adams to resign. So I think that it's also possible that we're going to see even more resignations. I don't know if it's in here in this article. I think it's just about all the legal stuff that's been happening. I don't think so. Yeah, it says right here, 53 minutes ago, mayor's appearance on Fox and Friends, President Trump's favorite morning show, was more than symbolic. It came a day after Adams said he would issue an executive order allowing ICE into the Rick Island jail complex. So I don't know if, because this stuff's actually really, really recent. And the resignation stuff came about. Yeah, it's not in here. Yeah, actually, I don't know. I don't know. So, meeting with Trump, February 13th. So yeah, it's not in here. But last night, Lieutenant Governor of New York, and AOC called for Eric Adams' resignation, which I didn't think was going to do much. But it definitely makes the story relevant again, and it puts it back in the spotlight when it previously was back in September. And I think it really is a matter of time until Eric Adams, is forced out. I mean, Hakeem Jeffries was asked about this already because he is another very popular New York Democratic official in the party. He is a House representative. He's the leader of the House Democrats, the current House Minority Leader, and he was asked about this, and he just said that he thinks that the people in New York will have a choice to vote him out or not. Which it's fair. It's fair. He's not, really responsible to what happens with Eric Adams. He is leader of the House Democrats, House Minority Leader. So I thought that was fair. But yeah, still a lot more to happen with Eric Adams, and it's going to be very interesting to see how this all develops. And yeah, I will update you guys on what happens. But yeah, just, keep this story in mind. Make sure you're following up all the updates, and of course, I will update all you guys as whatever develops here. If Eric Adams resigns, or if he's kicked out by Hochul, or if he's voted out in the June primary, all three of those possibilities could happen, and I'll be reporting on if that happens, or if any major thing develops today or next time in the future. We will see. But anyways, that is the video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.